you might be leaving a lot of money on the table for your junk removal business just off of your sales process alone over the phone. So let me explain pretty briefly in this video. One of the major transitions that I think you can make in your junk removal business is your phone process when it comes to sales for junk removal. So if you're watching this video and you typically try to close over the phone by giving a quote and a price based on what they either sent you in a picture or they've given you over the phone, I want you to test out transitioning over to either giving a range or doing free on-site estimates, because the companies who tend to do the best and sell the most are companies who follow this structure. There's not a singular way to do this. It can be done a few different ways. So if you prioritize one thing over another, that's fine. But I want you to at least to start transitioning out of giving an exact quote on every single job opportunity that comes your way. Anything that falls under single item, it's fine to give a quote. If it's just a mattress or couch, there's something along the lines of that or appliance, there's no need to go and do an on-site estimate for a single item. I'm talking anything that's multiple items, a job that's a clean out, or anything similar to that. I would like you to either do an on-site estimate, which is number one, preferred, or if you're against doing on-site estimates for most jobs, you travel long distance and don't want to do that, I want you to at least transition over to giving a range. And I've talked about this before in videos, but this just came up again recently with someone who I spoke to last week, and he told me, I was having a hard time on the phone because I would get a lot of people who would call in. I would give them a price and they would say they give me a call back and they need to talk to their wife, or they would flat out tell me no. He said what I realized was after a few months in, I actually went and worked with 1-800-GOT-JUNK for a few months afterwards to get a feel for what they were doing and what makes them so successful. And he said the number one takeaway that I got from working with them is that they do everything in their power to avoid giving a price over the phone, all right? And not only through 1-800-GOT-JUNK, but we found this through our own people. It's just a much higher success rate closing when you're able to get in front of the customer, when you're able to avoid giving an exact quote. The reason behind this is there's really two major keys that are behind this, all right? So number one is the fact that there's almost always going to be somebody cheaper than you, all right? So if you give a price, they're going to take that price and try to match it with a competitor, and odds are that competitor is going to give a lower price. Until then, the customer gets the lowest price that they, are looking for, or something that matches their budget, and then they go with them instead of you, all right? Especially some of the guys that I really want this video to reach out to. If you're one of the cheaper guys, you're probably not the ideal business in junk removal that we're looking to reach, because quite frankly, we want you guys to set a higher bar and a higher price so that you can have a more profitable and effective business. And this is the way to do that. Number two is the other reason that this is so successful is that when you're in front of someone and you're able to give them a quote person, most people are then just going to want to get the job done, okay? So I follow this example big time. I'm the type of buyer that if someone is at my home for a service-based business, I am 99% of the time just going to get it done, even if that price is a little bit more than I was wanting to pay, all right? And if they would have given me that price over the phone, I probably would have called someone else. Yet the fact that they're there and ready to do the job and get it done makes me much more likely to just say, you know what, fine, I'll eat the extra cost that I wasn't anticipating, because I would rather just get this done than have to schedule for someone else to come out and give me an estimate who may give me a higher estimate or something around the same. So that's why this works so well for you guys. When you're able to set an on-site estimate and get out there, you're going to close a lot more than you would if you just gave them exact quote over the phone. All right. So this is a major transition for you to make that could drastically affect where you are in your business and where it could be. Because odds are, if you're losing a lot of opportunities on the phone, it's because of the two reasons that I mentioned. One, somebody's cheaper. Two, there's someone out there who is giving them an on-site estimate and giving them that quote, and they're locking down the job, even though they might be more expensive than you are. And I know there's some reasons behind some of the guys who don't like to do this. And again, you can do a range. That's a possibility as well, to where you say, this sounds like it might be about a half trailer load, 3/4 trailer load, whatever the job may be. This is going to come between 400, 475. You go that route, the range isn't going to close as much as an on-site estimate, but it will do better than simply giving them, yes, that'll be 475. All right. Because you're giving a little bit of wiggle room there. And even when you do that, you still want to try and get a commitment and get them on the schedule, because the more likely you are to get them to commit and schedule, the more likely you are to close the deal. So if you can get them on there and they commit and they say, yeah, you know what, tomorrow sounds good. Now, most people are going to honor that commitment, and then you're going to be able to close the deal and get the job. Whereas if you leave it open-ended and you say that'll be 475, nobody really knows what the next step is, right? You're keeping it way too open-ended. So you want to say that'll be between 400 to 475. I have an opening today to give you an exact quote so I can see these items in person. Are you available from 2 to 4? Or I have an opening tomorrow from 10 to 12. I could get you in the morning now while the opening's here. Does that work for you? All right. And the cool thing about that last part where you say, can I get you in while I have the opening, is you add a little bit of scarcity there as well, because odds are you may actually fill that opening. If they don't, you want to make that known. You want them to actually get them to commit now, not say, okay, well, let me think about it. Let me talk to my wife, my brother, my cousin, blah, 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 the excuses they make. We want to avoid them. We want to get them on the schedule as quickly as possible. So I hope this helps some of you guys. This is tried and true. This isn't just something that I came up with, guys. You know, this is proven. We listen to the sales calls over and over again from all of our clients. You know, we've spoken to thousands of junk removal business owners. The main franchises are doing this. There's a reason behind them doing it. So whether it's giving a range or giving an on-site estimate, you want to do what you can to avoid giving the direct, hey, this will be $200 quote, unless it's a single item pickup. And the reasons behind it are everything that I mentioned. You're going to increase your sales, and you're going to have a better likelihood of closing more deals, which in return grows your business. Hope this helped you guys. If you have any questions on this, drop them in the comments. I'd be happy to answer and kind of discuss this with you guys. I've been in sales for a long time, understand a lot of psychologies behind it. And this is a major turning point in a lot of people's junk removal businesses when they're able to transition over to something like this, instead of just giving exact quotes for every single picture that's sent to them or every single phone discussion that they have. So I hope this helps you guys. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. I'll have more content in here for junk removal business owners like yourself. And as always, thank you for watching.